Sanibonani kubobonke. Abasi Bukele Buhoma ku PBS TV. Ngengu Brand Pass Kosechito. PBS TV Uganda News. So today it has been a confrontation at Madlanga Commission. Before we go into details, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more interesting stories. We'll bring you more.
Mr. Adams, you have the cast numbers now. You cannot rely on a dead man every time.
Ma'am,
it's unacceptable.
I understand your frustration. Let me explain mine to you, if you will. Please, please, just give me 1 second. I will explain it to you. So, what we all know, all of us, is that the South African Police Service covers for each other. I've been told these dockets are about to disappear. I'm going to give you an example, and please write this down.
Before you give me those examples, this is the man that says to you, go to Orlando. So he must trust Orlando. He also arranges for somebody from Orlando because he doesn't want the same thing. If we believe you, which I highly doubt that anyone does, but if we believe you that the Cape Town dockets were intercepted, you have now covered every base to make sure the Joburg dockets don't get intercepted. But the very next day you say to the minister, the same thing has happened. How is that possible? Then it must be General Lincoln and Witness G that has intercepted those dockets.
General Lincoln is in Cape Town without legs. He can't intercept a docket.
And yet he knows that the dockets have been intercepted.
This is what this man has told me. Now, if you will allow me, I will explain to you. There's a case.
Let's get this first. Let's get this first. What time did you lay your charges in Orlando?
It was in the was it in the morning? It was. I think it was late morning, Chief. I think it was late morning. I caught the early flight to Joburg.
Mr. Adams, you've again said Chief.
Commissioner, I apologize. It just slips out. Commissioner, Chairperson, sorry. I think it was late morning. Please.
What time did you leave? You may be referring perhaps to the time you got there. What time did you leave Orlando Police Station?
I wasn't there very long. I wasn't, maybe an hour, maybe less. I wasn't there very long.
And when you say late morning, do you mean approaching midday?
It would have been before midday if my memory serves me.
All right. Please, I just wanted to understand the timing. So late morning and then 8 a.m., Mr. Adams is writing the email. No, please continue with your question.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
So you say that by 8 o'clock the next morning, you are in a position to say to the Minister of Police that your dockets in Johannesburg have also been intercepted.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what information are you given to make that conclusion?
If I can put it into context for you, I've laid 3 charges against 3 senior members of SAPS. I'm told the dockets are gone. I come to Johannesburg to lay the same charges. I'm told that he didn't say that it's being taken. He said they're going to try and take it again. In panic, I write to the minister in the morning. Minister, please assist.
But that's not what you say to the minister.
Mr. Nude, sorry to do this to you. If we go back to Witness G's affidavit, what he said in paragraph 91 was that they were going to meet the following day in the afternoon. So it could not have been in the morning if what he says in his affidavit is correct.
I think it was in the morning, and I can also tell you I did not speak to Witness G the day before.
No, he says when you contacted him requesting assistance, he informed you that he would be in the Orlando precinct area the following day and that you could meet with him at Orlando Police Station in the afternoon.
Can you just show me the page, please, Mr. G? I can just read it for myself.
The same file, 3918.
3918.
Paragraph 91.
No, sir. I did not contact him the day before. And
but the issue is not when you contacted him. The issue is when you met with him at the Orlando Police Station.
I still think it was the morning. But that is why I say we can refer to the docket. The docket will tell us.
Are you sure or you think? Are you sure?
We're talking about events that happened 19 months ago. It's hard for me to say it was the morning. In my head, I think it was before midday, Commissioner.
But it's possible that it could have been afternoon.
I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I still think it was in the morning.
Sorry, Mr. Nube, you may continue.
Can you go to page 3895?
38?
3895. In fact, if we can go to 3899 first. And just to show you what document we're dealing with, my apologies, 3897 is the start of the document.
3897.
And you'll see that is one of the dockets, 403, 389.
I have 3897.
3897, you see that's the front cover of the docket.
Yes, I do.
And then if we go to 3898, that is your A1.
Yes, ma'am.
If you go to 3899, you see the commissioner's stamp.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see the time?
It's 1:30.
1:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So work off that timeline.
So, if I got to the police station around about midday, I would have spent about an hour there. I think that I'm not far off. I'm not far off.
Okay. So it's 1:30. So what happens between 1:30 and 8 o'clock the next morning?
I'm told by General Lincoln they're trying the same stunt again. That is exactly what...
You're told?
Oh, please repeat that.
I'm told by General Lincoln that they're trying to intercept the dockets again. Now, Commissioner, if I can just put it into context for you. I just want to show you something. I actually wasn't going to mention this, but if you will allow me, sorry. There's a case, Kales River case. It's 771 of 10/2010. This is a rape case against a senior general. It's never been investigated. The docket has been shelved.
Maybe that has happened.
No, I just...
No, let me say, because we do have limited time, so, and I think you do have a lot of things that you would like to share, but let's come back to the question. Maybe what you're about to start now has happened, but that's not what we are discussing. You're being asked a specific question by the chair. What did what were you saying General Lincoln said to you?
General Lincoln told me, and I wouldn't be able to tell you the time, but on the same day, and if I want to quote him, he said something along these buggers just won't stop. They're about to do it again. Those were the words, and that prompted me to mail the minister. Now, as I sit here, if indeed they were planning to confiscate the dockets, the minister would be the right office to email. It would be the right place to call. That's why the minister's there.
But that's not what you say in paragraph 4.
Paragraph 4 of?
Of the letter to the minister.
Can I see?
3978.
3978. You're not saying they are about to do the same thing they did in the Western Cape. You say they've done the same thing. They're interfering in the investigation, in the investigative process, and this is less than 24 hours after you laid the complaint, and you represent to the minister that your dockets have been intercepted in Gauteng. That can be, because your explanation now is General Lincoln said to you they're about to do that. So you were misleading the minister in paragraph 4 if you tell him that they have intercepted your Gauteng dockets. Because your explanation now is General Lincoln said to you they're about to do that. Why do you say to the minister, less than 24 hours after you laid the charge, why do you say to the minister, what happened in the Western Cape has now happened in Gauteng, when that is false?
I think I preempted that, to be honest with you, Commissioner. I'm saying I've also been notified that Gauteng Police Department has followed the same modus operandi, which means they're taking the dockets or have taken the dockets, which I think is out of context on my side. It is not a deliberate attempt to mislead the minister. It is me saying to the minister, please act. That is what I'm saying. Please act.
So you accept that General Lincoln, if he is the one that spoke to you, you accept that General Lincoln didn't say to you the Gauteng police have intercepted your dockets. You accept that?
No. Yes, he didn't say they've taken, sorry, not no to you. He didn't say they've taken the dockets.
Yes, and so what is in paragraph 4 is in fact false.
No,
That you say to the minister, it may not have been your intention, you are explaining it now, but we are now looking at the text of what you said to the minister, and I just want to simply clarify beyond doubt that paragraph 4, to the extent that in its terms it says the police in Gauteng are doing exactly what happened with your dockets in Cape Town, was in fact false.
I will concede that I could have worded it better,
Okay.
Commissioner. I could have, and maybe I should stop being in such a rush with everything. I could have worded this better.
All right, thank you.
But you are a member of parliament, and you don't give this process any chance. You draw conclusions based on what somebody who has no involvement in this investigation. He has absolutely no involvement. In fact, he's the one that says to you, go to Orlando, and I've got a guy that's going to help you. So you should be able to trust that process. Now he comes to you and he says to you in the same breath, they're trying to do the same thing. Why don't you say to him, but what are you basing this on? You're the one that said to me, go to Orlando.
I didn't ask him that, but my process, my thought process is that a general's a lot more powerful than a colonel. It was a colonel that helped us, and from where we're standing, it is people right at the top that are taking the dockets. That is my understanding.
But you don't know that, right? You don't know it as a fact. And my point is that you stand in a position of trust. You are a member of parliament. Surely you understand what comes with that role. You have access to the minister. You are actually abusing your position as a member of parliament to report this matter to the minister, where there are legitimate cases, and I don't disagree with you there, of dockets going missing, where exhibits, important exhibits like firearms and projectiles and all of that goes missing with the docket. Your docket has no evidence. It is just an A1 statement. You don't even provide documentary evidence to substantiate your allegations, and yet you go to the minister using your position as a member of parliament to have him do what? Intervene. The very thing that you want to prevent in your cases, you want the minister to do that. You want him to intervene in an investigation that you are not giving a chance. Can you see what the problem is?
I can half agree with what you're saying, but I've sent the minister's office 2, maybe 3 emails going on 3 years. I have access to the minister. I don't abuse it. This, in my view, was serious. This, in my view, is people trying to stop people, us holding people accountable. This, in my view, was necessary. And you may hold a different view. But I did not abuse the minister, and I certainly did not ask the minister to get involved in the investigative process. I asked the minister, and if you read paragraph 5, to intervene and ensure the integrity of the investigative process. That's all I'm asking. Now, was the investigative process, was it being allowed? In my view, no. In the view of the commissioners, yes. And it's up to them to make that determination. But I feel that as a member of parliament, I had every right to send that email, as I had every responsibility to lay that case. I hear you, advocate, when you say that my docket only holds an A1 statement. I'm being told that I mishandle the information. If I put it in the docket for anyone to see, I would have been guilty of mishandling the information. I kept the information intending to give it to the investigating officer.
Mr. Adams, but the investigative process hasn't even started yet. And you're already telling the minister that that it's being interfered with. It hasn't started. There hasn't even been an investigating officer assigned to this.
Advocate, if I may, I explained yesterday. I'm surrounded by people whose murder dockets and rape dockets have disappeared. This is a reality to me. I understand you may not understand that, but I'm asking you to indulge me that stolen dockets are what we deal with.
If your docket was stolen, your 3 dockets, you could easily just go and do 3 more dockets because it had nothing in it. It was A1 statements. That's all it was.
The question that I would like to ask is, well, I can't ask the commission questions, but I'm going to state that it's not necessary for anyone to open 3 cases on the same issue. It should
I
be
agree
investigated
with
the
you,
first.
and you shouldn't have done it. I agree with you. You shouldn't have. You should have allowed the Cape Town process to run its course. You had no basis to even go to Orlando. And then when you get to Orlando, you don't even give that process. It's hardly been registered on the system, and already you're sending an email to the minister. And that is why General Mkwanazi says, at the crack of dawn, you're sending an email to the minister. You have just lodged the charges the day before.
What General Mkwanazi doesn't say is that the dockets ended up in a safe in Pretoria.
And we'll get to that process, and you know very well why it ended up there. It was part of the process that you initiated because you complained to the minister.
We'll explain that when we get there.
Yes.
Mr. Adams, the problem is the appearances of all of this, that, and going back, you start with documents that come in under your door. You don't know who gave you the documents. You act on the documents, and I'm not questioning it for purpose of what I'm saying now. That I'm not saying you shouldn't have acted. You act on the documents. You go and lay a charge, and the very next day you're already saying, I've been told that the dockets have been intercepted by someone who's not in a position to speak for themselves because they are not here. And you say, I then go to Orlando. That person makes arrangements for you that you should go and meet. So you get special treatment, basically, which is someone is going to hold your hand that is trusted, take you into a police station, hand you over to obviously someone that they trust. You lay the complaint again with them on all 3 dockets, and the very next day, in fact, to say the very next day is to be generous, in less than 24 hours of you laying that charge, you are now writing to the minister. Ms. Ngobe will take us there. We then see even the minister's office acting on the very same day, escalating it. All of it looks unseemly. It looks like a scheme that was generated to culminate the way it did, which is at IDEC, who Ms. Johnson has accepted. They have no business to get involved with this, but it looks like a well-orchestrated scheme because your conduct doesn't make sense. And even allowing for the possibility that you may have been fed wrong information by General Lincoln, because we now know that there was no basis for you to say the dockets have been intercepted, they have been, even in Gauteng. Even allowing for that, he may have misled you, maybe because he also was part of a scheme, I don't know. But allowing for that, you are a member of parliament, you are a thinking member of parliament. And when you're told dockets have been intercepted, you're expected to ask the necessary questions, including about Gauteng. If General Lincoln says to you, your dockets have been intercepted, as a responsible member of parliament and a thinking member of parliament, it's unthinkable that you wouldn't ask basic questions like, hey, how do you know this? Let me phone the gentleman, the person that I reported to yesterday, and ask them, where are my dockets in the scheme, before you escalate things to the minister. There's just something wrong about this whole process. For lack of a better word, it stinks of machinations. Do you want to comment?
Yes, please, Commissioner. Commissioner, I acted only because I wanted these cases investigated. I had no other motive. I emailed the minister twice. The minister's office responded twice. I'm actually appreciative of the response because other ministers don't respond. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I can tell you as I sit here today, this thing was done because we needed to get this investigation going. And also, we don't have, I don't think this commission will allow me the time to explain why provincial SAPs had no business fetching those dockets. They had no business. That was against the chain of custody, and that is what triggered my response. But I accept what you're saying. I mean, what you're saying, you know, when you connect dots, which is not a lawful process, but when you connect dots, it does stink. I will concede to that. But my motivation here was, I'm not letting you get away with this. That was it. And that is my stubborn streak speaking, but it is what it is.
Maybe lastly from me, I mean, you speak of the serious cases that you have to deal with on a daily basis, the killings, the rapes, which no one will argue with you against. And with all of that, what was so urgent about the cases of a forklift, the case of General Madondo's vetting, General Kumalo's vetting, and General Masemula? What was so urgent that things had to happen within hours? Because that's what you did with the Western Cape, that's what you do with Gauteng, and your correspondence to the minister and the minister's chief of staff on the same day writes to the subs. But I want to hear from your perspective, what was so urgent that it had to happen within 24 hours?
If I may, Commissioner? Thank you. What was important to me about this is that on the basis of what I've seen, and these are only allegations, like I say, I wanted it followed up by an investigation, is that there's a possibility that at the very top of crime intelligence, people are A, stealing, B, promoting people with criminal records to top positions. And like you said, it just seemed to stink, and I wanted it clean. They don't know where the drug dealers are in Cape Town. They don't know where the guns are in Cape Town. One police officer can sell 2,700 guns to the gangs in Cape Town, and crime intelligence doesn't know. So for me, this was important. If we can't detect crime, we can't fight crime. And if we have incompetent and compromised people at crime intelligence, we might as well close the place.
Yeah, okay,
that was important to me.
Yeah, no, you haven't answered my question about why was it urgent in this case. Why was it urgent? And the agent of 24 hours, I'm not talking agent generally, I'm talking agent of 24 hours, that your complaint about General Madondo and her vetting and her polygraph should be investigated and be finished within 24 hours. The same with General Kumalo. It's that, my question is that direct. Why in this case was it the urgency of within 24 hours you needed to have? You haven't given them documents, by the way. You've just done an A1 statement. You are not answering my question. What made this so urgent that within 24 hours you're escalating things to the minister?
If I may, is this the Gauteng one? The first case that I laid, the first batch of cases I laid in Cape Town, I sent the minister an email. Then I laid the cases again, and I'm triggered.
I understand that. So when you first laid a case in Cape Town, you sent an email to the minister?
That it is alleged that my documents have gone missing. I sent that email. Then
before the 1st of November.
There was a 10-day gap between the emails, if I remember correctly. If I can check, will you allow me to check?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's your answer, please, to check.
Please, let me just get this right. I don't want to get this wrong. Just keep, if the commission will just allow me. Oh, I need to go into this thing now.
It's pointed out to me, Mr. Adams, that it's time for the tea break. You can look. We can take the break now, and then you can look it up.
Let's adjourn and resume at 11:30.
Commissioner?